Whew. Good morning guys, how's it going out there? Let's just straighten this up a bit. Oh, other way. That's it. So, bit of a struggle this morning. I was going to fish my usual swim on the River Thames that I fish in the winter, but it's all overgrown. I can't get to it. And then it started raining heavy and I thought to myself, is this video going to happen or not? But the answer is yes. So I took a drive up towards the weir here at Weybridge in Surrey. Hello Korea, how are you doing? And good morning subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much once again for building up my channel. So today we're going to do something really special. And I haven't done this for over 12 years, so it could be a bit of a disaster, but we're going to do some whip fishing. I brought a 5-meter whip, and just before I set everything up and show you what I'm going to do, have a look at the new item. This is great for us older anglers, but not old. It was £28. Check this out. So here we have a nice small tackle box, which is great if you're roving for chub or just doing a short session as we are today. It's called a, what is it? A Roder Arc Tough Box. So it's £28. You've got 2 tough clips here. You've got a padded seat. You open it up and inside is a compartment with all your bits and pieces in it. So it's quite well laid out. As you can see, it's not all fully done yet. I've had to do all this at work during my lunch breaks to get some of it organised, but it's a really nice little box, nice and tough. 2 small trays for your maggots, for your ground bait. So that's that. So we just clip that back up again like so, and then you've got a big clip here at the bottom. I'll just lift it up and show you because the box tips over a little bit, and all your bigger items of tackle are all in there. And one very important item I'm going to show you in a minute, but let me get some stuff set up first guys, because that'll take me a good 15 minutes or so. Found a nice looking swim, and I'm fairly optimistic we might get a few nice winter roach. So that's that. It's a nice, really nice little box. It's quite well made and quite sturdy. So what I've done is I picked a swim here. Oh, all over the place. Picked a swim here that's got some fairly slack water. There's a few leaves in it, but there won't be a huge problem. But this slack water, and I know for a fact it's quite deep here, could hold some nice roach, but there is a possibility it could hold a few nice perch along the side of this wall. So that could be quite nice as well. But the river is still up a bit, but certainly fishable. But there's a lot of current and that in the main flow. Some of it's going through a bit too fast, so a lot of the fish will be looking for this kind of slack water that we have in front of us here. And this looks, I would say this looks promising. It's a cold day, but having said that, it's not as cold as I thought it was going to be. It's not too bad at all, so my hands and that are not going to freeze up. So let me get some stuff set up. I'll show you the tackle layout, and let's see if we can get a few fish. Right, let's just adjust this camera a bit more. Let's bring it around a little bit, shall we? Nearly. Excuse me folks, minor adjustment. My remote button's not working on the camera, so just excuse me for getting up a bit closer. That's better. So everything now is set up. I'm going to just show you the flow. The way I've set it up. I want a size 18 micro barb hook today, so very small compared to the last video done with 15-pound line and carp rods. This is what you call delicate kind of fishing, but I haven't done it for years, so it could be a disaster. So I have a 5 metre width, 5 metres in feet, it's just over 16 feet. Got the float weighted up just right. First thing to do, guys, we found our swim, so that's a start. Got a nice little backflow here of current. It's relatively slow and calm, so this is the sort of place that fish can come out of the main flow and basically just come here to kind of take it easy, rest up a bit, and possibly, you know, looking for food. So I'm using today I'm using the Zim 5 metre width. Wasn't very expensive, I think it's about £16. So the float I've got on today, I'll show you the float, bear with me. You see that? So that's a flattened float. I've got 4 BB at the top, and I have just here is number 1. It's shotted down the bottom because I want this to get down fairly quick, because we are going to be fishing on the bottom today. And there's number 4, and it's on a size 18 hook, micro barb Brennan hook. The first thing we need to do is find out how deep it is. If there's a shelf in front of me, it's always good if the water's going like that. If somebody drops down a bit, you've got a shelf. A lot of fish run along the bottom of the shelf looking for food. There's places like that they can hug against, keep out the way of any other predators, and if they come, they can just shoot above the shelf into more safer water. So we're going to get the plummet. My little new tackle box that looks like a toilet. Don't you start laughing. I'm not going to don't start. Conditions now are generally really good. I was expecting it to be quite a lot colder, but I'm glad it's not. As I say, when I first arrived here further up at Walton to have a look at one of my old swims, it started raining heavy, and I thought, this is not going to happen. I don't like setting up when it's pouring down with rain. And then it just stopped. So we're going to put on the plummet. Any kind of float fishing that you start with, always use a plummet. The plummet is your best friend, believe me. I'm sure I've got quite a lot of depth of water in front of me. So that's your plummet. See, put the hook through the loop and into the cork. That's all there is to it, very simple. And let's see how deep the water is in front of us. I'm not going to be fishing far out because I don't need to. Oh, we've certainly got some depth there, that's for sure. Wow. And we got a shelf closer in. Wow, that's very deep. But I'm glad it's deep, because I do like fishing deep water, I must admit. I'm going to have to bring that up a lot higher. A lot higher. So I've raised the float up at least another 3.5 feet. What we got now? Nearly there. I can feel it bounce on the bottom. The float's about that much above the water, so I just need to pull it down a bit. Yep, I'm nearly there. So if I come down about 6 inches, that should be just about right. Just gone past 12 o'clock, so we've got about 3 hours. I'd really like a bit longer, but better than nothing. Water's a bit clearer than I thought, but again, because it's deep, it'll be quite dark down there, so that's fine. So my float stem is just that much above the water, so when I take that plummet off, I should be fishing about that much off the bottom, roughly about that much. So that's fine. That's a good start. That's a good start. So that's that done. I can always adjust the float up and down an inch or two if I need to find. But what we need to do next, guys, is to assess the swim in front of us. It's a swim. Haven't fished it like during the winter. We've got the depth, so that's very important. Also, you want the, this is a 5 metre width, any 4 metre width. You always want, obviously, the line to be shorter than the width so that you can swing the fish into hand. Okay? This one is, as you can see, the line, the plummet is here, but you've got this much at the width at the bottom, so when you lift the fish up, you can swing it in. Don't make the line longer than the width, because you won't be able to swing the fish in, and that generally, to be quite honest, would be a bit of a disaster. So make sure that 8 inches or so, 10 inches shorter than the whip will be absolutely fine. Now I'm going to show you a gadget that some anglers use, but I'm sure it's not used as much as it used to be. Some of you guys would have seen this before on YouTube, but this is new on my channel, but not new to me. And this is called a bait dropper, and I absolutely swear by these for getting the bait on the bottom. What you don't want to do, you've got deep water in front of you, you don't want to throw maggots straight over the top, because even though there isn't much of a flow, by the time they get to the bottom, they're going to be out of your swim, and you want the bait in the swim on the bottom where you're going to drop the bait. So a bait dropper. Very simple to use. You load it up with your maggots. I brought some hemp today, guys. So I might use, you know, a little bit of hemp in there because I'm hoping to get some nice roach, but there are some very big perch as well. So put your bait in there, your maggots, your hemp seed, even a few bits of ground bait, anything like that. All you do then is close the lid, drop that down, and that keeps the lid shut. At the back of the bait dropper, you see this hook, this kind of loop. Put your hook through there, pull it the other side, and just push the hook point into the cork. Alright? So through the loop, on the other side, into the cork, and then lower it down gently. And as you lower it into the water, the weight will come up and the bait will come out. Simple, but absolutely brilliant to get that bait on the bottom. So I'm going to get the bait on the bottom of the swim and we'll start fishing. Now I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. Welcome to Fishing with Clive. So I'm just pulling the float into where the bait, well, I put the bait out on the bottom there. The float's sitting there quite nicely. It could go down a little bit more, but the antenna is it's nice and thin, so there's no real resistance for the fish there when they pull it under. That's a bit of a joke, isn't it, guys? When they put it under. Gosh, I've never ever known this swim to be so quiet. Even though I fished it many years ago, I've never known it to be so quiet. Unbelievable. We've got some big old rain clouds coming over there now, guys. So yeah, failed today on the whip, but you know, just the way it is. We have tried. We've had a fun day, had a nice day by the river. At least hopefully you got a few interesting tips from the whip. The tips that I've given you are absolutely fine. It's just the water is just not fishing, apart from, you know, from one bite, one suck maggot, that's it. The fish are not here. With the time that I had by the time I got here and looked at another place, and then the rain was on and off, you know, it's all over the place. Anyway, hopefully next week we'll have, all being well, we'll have something lined up. So thanks again for viewing, guys. Press that thumbs up for me, and if you enjoyed the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Very grateful to you subscribers, and it will keep it going, and it will get better. But this is the truth of fishing. There's nothing false about what I do. Everything you see is true. So thank you very much indeed for viewing. I'm going to get this stuff put away, go home, have a coffee, get this video downloaded onto the computer. One thing I'll tell you before I go, I found an archive of fishing at a large gravel pit, and that includes my son and a friend, and there are some very, very big fish. It won't be this sort of quality because it was filmed on a VHS camera back in 2003 on a gravel pit, but there's some big fish on there, so I will put that up. It's on DVD at the moment. I'll try and clean it up a bit, but you'll certainly see some lumps on that, and I think you'll probably really enjoy it. So yeah, 2003, gosh, that's what, 20 years ago? Yeah, 20 years. Where's that gone? Anyway, I'll catch you again soon. And we won't say that word catch, will we? It's just not, it's not happening. It's not happening. And take care, won't you? Be safe. See you soon. Bye, guys.